Hello there, everybody. It is I, Big King Badger, back with the final part of my countdown of games I absolutely love for the PS1. As you can see, I have changed costume, as it were, because it's been so intense and so difficult for me to think of something and think of 5 games and nail it down to those games. But I have. So, it's not a countdown or anything like that, but here we go with 5 games I absolutely love for the PS1, from the letters of M down to Z. Now, the first game I have is Tombi for the PS1. As we were already saying, this is a countdown of PS1 games. Or in America, it was called Tumba. I don't know why, but why not? Let's change the name of it. In the game, you play as a pink-haired caveman in a great and amazing 2D platforming action game where you are fighting a load of evil pigs. I don't know why, but anyway, there are some evil pigs and you have to take them down. Like I say, there are a lot of puzzles. It is very open-ended, so I'm not going to say it's like games such as Metroidvania and Metroid and things like that, but you can go through and get equipment and find things and travel around the game world and have a look. But it is one game that's really cool and really funky. So, a little bit like Klonoa, which I mentioned before. The game is 2D, overall, but there are 3D game worlds and things like that. But it is really cool and really amazing. There is a sequel as well, number 2, but it's not as pretty because it's really nice to see some 2D elements in there, such as the game characters. But in number 2, everything is 3D. I'm not getting anything against 3D, but you know what? Number 1 has a little bit more charm and a little bit more cool style. The next game to show you is Soul Blade. Now, this game I absolutely loved. This game I got when I first got my PS1, so it has a very, very special, sensitive place in my heart. But it's a really cool one-on-one weapon-based beat-em-up. So each of the characters has their own unique weapon, and like a classic game like Tekken and things like that, it's a one-on-one fighting game. What's really cool is that the game has a lot of different modes and a lot of different elements for you. So each character has an arcade mode where you go through and progress and get to see their story. There is also for each of the characters a unique special hidden ending. As you play the game and as you go through and watch the final cutscene, there are ways for you to influence the game and influence the ending, so that's pretty cool. You do have standard time attack, things such as survival modes and things like that, and also another mode where you travel as each of the characters to find different weapons and have unique different elements. So there's one level where you have to fight someone who is invisible, or another one where you have to fight someone but their weapon is 5 times the size and length of your own, so they can hit you from far away, and it just adds a very unique flavour to the game. And then you can find the different weapons and equip them and have different stats and different abilities and unique things in the game. The game itself, Soul Blade, is one of the Soul Edge games. So Soul Calibur, if you've heard of that, that's what the series is now called. But this is the original game. So Soul Blade, or Soul Edge, as it can also be called, is one to pick up and have a look on. I would really recommend it. Like I say, it's a special place in my heart, and I absolutely love it. The next one, going back with a bit more of a puzzle platforming theme, is the iconic and absolutely amazing Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. So you are a slave in a food factory, and you have to help your fellow slaves to escape through talking to them, farting at them, possessing the guards. It is absolutely amazing. It's really dark, really funny, and really great. And I'm sure, I would hope a lot of you know of Abe and the Oddworld games. But if you don't, as I say, you progress through the 2D platforming level, and each screen, each part of the level can be a puzzle. It can be an area for you to overcome. and one to have a look at. So the main character of Abe is able to possess enemies and other creatures in the game, and each of the different species has their own different set of speech and words and things to say, and you interact with other characters in the environment by talking to them, which also does involve part of the puzzles as well in how you say and what you say back. You can also whistle as Abe as well, and do music, which is also again another part of the language in the game and how it works. Absolutely amazing. Recommend picking it up. It did also get a HD remake for the PS4 and Vita, so I would recommend picking that up, as well as any other of the Oddworld games which do involve third person platforming 3D games, and also first person 3D shooter as well. Absolutely phenomenal, really cool, worth checking and picking up. I would recommend it to absolutely everyone. And again, it's one that I picked up early in my time with the PS1, and would really recommend saying pick it up to everybody, and I recommend it. So the next one I have, as I'm not particularly a big fan of sports or driving games, but one that I would have to mention that I really love and think needs a lot more talking about is Roll Cage for the PS1. This game is a must-have. I want to say it's a very fast, very arcadey racing, sci-fi racer. Now, as you can see with the vehicles there, the wheels are much bigger than the actual vehicles. That's because when you're playing the game, you can go so fast that when you're in a tunnel, or if you have a piece of the world, you can actually drive and go up onto the walls and onto the ceilings. So the game feels a little bit like Mario Kart, in regards to having the ability to pick up weapons and shields and things like that and fire and destroy other vehicles. And yeah, you know what, actually it kind of rips off Mario Kart in that, but guess what? Mario Kart 8 rips off Roll Cage by having the ability to drive up walls and up ceilings. So Roll Cage ripped it off and then was ripped off. There is a sequel as well, so that's well worth having a look at. But I think Roll Cage as a really cool arcadey sci-fi racer is well worth your time and worth picking up. I absolutely love this one, so it needs a lot of talking about. The next one, a bit of a safe one, a bit of an easy one, and it is Tomb Raider. Now for me, a lot of people go for Tomb Raider 2. For me personally, it's all about Tomb Raider 3. So you have one world that you, one area that you pick, which is India. You're there straight away, you do some levels, and then you have the ability to pick which part of the world you go to next. So Area 51, a couple of other places and things like that, such as London and things. So you end up in the end going to Antarctica in the ice. But I absolutely love it. Tomb Raider is a phenomenal one. And yeah, you know what? With Tomb Raider 3, there are less tombs and there are a few more modern areas. But I absolutely think this is a solid one. Yeah, a lot of people may pick Tomb Raider 2, but you know what? For me, Tomb Raider 3 just hit home a little bit more. I absolutely loved it a little bit more than the others. Tomb Raider 2 and the original Tomb Raider, don't get me wrong, are absolutely phenomenal. But for me, Tomb Raider 3 is where it's at. So that is my pick of 5 games that I absolutely adore for the PS1, from the letters M down to Z. There wasn't very much Z, there wasn't very much M, but we got some of the games that are in between. That is just some of the games I absolutely love, and 5 that I think need a lot more love than they probably already get. But what's your top 5? Have you played any of these games? Let me know, because this is an impossible task to pick 5 games. I'm sure there are many games which I've forgotten that I would absolutely love to talk about as well, but I want to hear about your top 5 as well. What do you love from the PS1? What do you think should get more love than it actually gets? Have you played any of the games? Let me know, because I want to have a conversation with you guys in the comments and hear about what you love for the PS1, because it is one of my all-time favourite consoles. So please, get in contact. I am over the web as Big King Badger everywhere, from Instagram to Twitter. So I enjoy playing, guys. Let me know what you think. It's been a pleasure to let you know about what I think about these games. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.